We're about to jump into a topic that, let's be honest, can seem a little scary. But I promise you by the end of this, you're going to see it in a completely new way. We're going to find out that accounting isn't really about numbers at all. It's actually about telling a story. Yeah, this word right here. For so many people, it just brings up these feelings of, I don't know, complicated math, endless spreadsheets, and maybe just a little bit of stress. If that sounds like you, hey, you're in exactly the right place. Because here is the big secret. Accounting, at its heart, has nothing to do with being a math whiz. Nope. It's just the language used to tell the financial story of a business or, even your own life. Once you learn a few of the basic words, you can understand any financial story out there. So, to learn this new language, we're not going to look at spreadsheets, we're going to follow a really simple, clear story. The story of a yam farmer in Nigeria. Believe it or not, everything we need to know about accounting, we can learn right there on his farm. Okay, so every story has to start somewhere, right? It needs a setting, a foundation. In the story of accounting, that foundation begins with two very simple ideas. Just understanding the difference between what you have versus what you owe. The very first word in our financial story is asset. Now, it might sound all technical, but it really just means something you own that has value and can help you out down the road. Think of it like a tool in your toolbox. For our farmer, his assets are super clear. It's the land he works on, it's the tools he uses, like his shovels and hoes, it's even the yams he's already harvested and are just sitting in the barn ready to be sold. Oh, and any cash he's got lying around from a sale. All these things are resources he controls to make more money. Simple as that. Now for the other side of the coin, a liability. And this is just as simple. It's what you owe to someone else. It's a claim that another person or company has on your stuff, on your assets. So what does our farmer owe? Well, maybe he borrowed some money from his auntie to buy the absolute best yam seeds for the season. That loan? That's a liability. Or maybe he got a delivery of fertilizer and he hasn't paid the bill yet. That's a liability too. It's a debt. So here's where it all comes together. On one side, you have everything the farmer owns, his assets. And on the other, you have everything he owes to other people, his liabilities. These two concepts, they're the bedrock for the entire story. So we have what's owned and we have what's owed. How do these two ideas connect? Well, once we know those two things, we can figure out the most important part of the story, the owner's actual personal stake in the whole operation. And that brings us to our third keyword, capital. This is the real value that actually belongs to the owner. It's whatever is left over from the assets after all the debts, the liabilities, are paid off. You can just think of it as the owner's piece of the pie. The best way to picture this is like a perfectly balanced scale. On one side of the scale, we're going to put everything the farmer owns, all his assets. Now, for the scale to stay balanced, the other side has to be exactly equal. And part of that other side is made up of everything the farmer owes to other people, all his liabilities. But that doesn't balance it, does it? The magic is in what's left. The final piece that makes it all perfectly balanced is the owner's capital. So you see, everything you own, your assets, has to equal what you owe others, your liabilities, plus what you truly own yourself, your capital. This one little equation is the foundation for all of accounting. Pretty cool, right? But a farm isn't just a static snapshot of things, right? It's full of life, it's full of action. Yams are being sold, supplies are being bought. This is the plot of our story, the constant flow of money coming in and money going out. Let's start with the fun part, money coming in. In the world of accounting, we call this income. It's basically the money you earn from doing whatever it is your business does. For our farmer, this is pretty easy to see. His main income obviously comes from selling all those yams at the market. But hey, maybe he makes a little extra cash by renting his wheelbarrow out to his neighbor. Both of those count as income. But of course, as they say, you have to spend money to make money. And the money that's going out to run the business, that's called an expense. It's basically the cost of creating your income. And our farmer has plenty of these. He has to buy fertilizer to make sure his yams grow big and strong. He has to pay for a truck to even get them to the market. And, maybe he has to spend a few bucks to fix a broken hole. All of these are just necessary costs of doing business. Now, this is what's really cool. You can see the whole cycle of the business right here. The farmer starts with an expense, buying seeds and fertilizer. That allows him to plant and grow his yams. Then he sells those yams at the market to generate income. And what does he do with that income? He uses it to fund the next round of expenses. And the story just keeps going. And that's basically it. With just those 5 simple words, we now have all the pieces we need to read and understand the entire financial story of our yam farmer, or really any business at all. So let's just recap the whole language we just learned. Assets, that's what you have. Liabilities, that's what you owe. Capital, that's your personal piece of it all. And then the action in the story is driven by income, what you earn, and expenses, what you spend to earn it. That's the whole vocabulary. So just remember this. Behind every single financial report, every spreadsheet, every number, there's a story. There's a story of wins and challenges and choices that were made. And with just these 5 words, you now know the basic grammar of that language. And that leads to one final thought. I mean, if you were to think about your own assets, your own liabilities, your income and your expenses, what story do those numbers tell about you? What's the financial story of your own life?